Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man.
All right, everybody. Archrivals. Alex, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just hanging in there, man. It was a pretty easy day today. Took about 4 naps after work. I got home at about like 3:30. It was pretty dope. Quite the day. Anthony Bullock, how's it going on? Shauna Heth, how are you doing? We are here for week 4, or episode 4 of week 4.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting one.
I think we really should start off with that article that was just brought to the table.
Let's get right into it, dude. That's it tickles me. I'll tell you. It's hilarious. I had a couple. It's a knee slapper. I'll tell you that for sure.
All right,
Go ahead.
So the article that was brought to my attention is a appearance by TIKI BARBER, former halfback of the New York Giants, at a Middletown SHOPRITE. However, if the only way to actually meet TIKI BARBER is to donate your hair to Locks of Love, and that's how you will actually get to meet TIKI BARBER. Now,
hair man.
He has no hair. He's the spokesperson for a shampoo company, and the only way you get to meet him again. I don't know if those are donatable.
I don't know. You could have some gnarly pubes. There are men, well, what's it, alopecia, that would love a dick rug, a merkin, as they're called.
You actually used to watch TIKI BARBER on the Giants. Unless he's donating, I believe it may be his eyebrows. I don't think he would be the greatest freaking, spokesperson for a Locks of Love thing. Just saying.
Isn't like Locks? I mean, now I've always thought that Locks of Love is kind of a scam. I've heard it's a scam because it was supposed to be like, originally they said like you grow your hair, because one of my friend's kids, his son, grew out his hair, and like he'd been growing it out for a long time for Locks of Love, and it was like past his shoulders, and then they found out that Locks of Love does not give these wigs away for free. So he just cut it. He found another place and cut it and sent it to that one, because apparently these kids have to pay for stuff. And I was like, that's stupid, But so I've always thought they were kind of a scam.
I'm not putting the onus on the whole that you actually are donating it for a great cause.
Yeah.
But I just still kind of find it funny that a bald man is a spokesperson for a company like this, who happens to be an ex-freaking Giants running back
that shaves his head.
Yes. So the irony is definitely there.
How did he get a shampoo promotion?
That's what I'd like to know, to be honest.
I mean, because honestly, like, I don't think that, like, I don't get it. Okay. I mean, I understand that they want to endorse, all players get endorsements and stuff. But why couldn't you be on like a nationwide commercial, dude? Like, why do you, how did you, like, how being a bald man and you're like, oh, Pantene, cool. I'll be the face of Pantene.
Well, I think that between the nationwide thing with fucking Peyton Manning stealing that and his huge forehead, maybe Tiki wasn't going to fit in that particular thing.
I guess. I guess. I mean, even Shaq's doing the general insurance.
Well, Shaq does Gold Bond.
Yeah, now that's
which
a
is
product
actually kind of fun.
every man should get behind.
So I don't know.
Little ball powder, ball duster. Anthony Bullock, how are you? I don't know. How are you doing today, man? We're doing great. 45 degrees outside right now.
Well, it's about 60 here. So we're kind of like
15 better than me. I had to break out the hoodie. But tomorrow it's going to be 80. Welcome to Kansas.
Oh, you get the up and down, huh?
Oh, all the time, man. You just don't know what it's going to be. So you can't ever like pack away your winter clothes because it could be like it could be 90 degrees one day and then the next day it's 40. So
that's not cool, dude.
Derek,
it really
Derek
is.
says it's 92 there. He's thinking about swimming after the show. Well,
won't be like that for us in about a month.
It's almost a freezing level here.
All right.
But anyways.
So let's kind of jump into this lovely hodgepodge that we have going on.
That is the NFL.
Yes. We're gonna recap the Vikes Rams game last night.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad game, man. That's one of the best teams to play the Rams so far than I thought.
Well, okay, so I actually did watch some of this game after PIPEBOMB last night.
Yeah.
And then I did catch the recap of the thing, which is like 13 minutes long for an NFL game. I kind of found that kind of amusing.
Yeah.
They put up freaking 69 points. There was almost 1,000 yards total between the two teams. Goff had the perfect passer rating last night.
Yeah.
However, there were a few bumps and bruises in this game that I did find, and I was pretty upset with. So, in the second quarter, I believe it was, Gurley caught like a 57-yard pass play, and there was a block in the back. Refs threw the flag, and they pulled the flag saying that it wasn't a block in the back, but on replay, it was as clear as day that it was a penalty.
Yeah.
The Rams only did get 3 points out of that whole drive, but if that penalty was probably upheld, maybe they probably would have not gotten the 3 points. But it kind of looked like there was a little bit of a lean favor toward the Rams in this game.
The Rams, yeah.
And I got to be honest. Offensively, the Rams are a juggernaut.
Yeah.
However, defensively, they're not as, paid as advertised, I would have to say at this point.
Well, I mean, we talked about it last week. They're missing their 2 star corners.
Well, apparently Peters did play last night.
Oh, Peters played? Okay.
So I can understand that, but again, their defense is kind of a little lenient, I guess, on pass protection or pass defensive area.
Mm-hmm.
Their front four is very strong, but outside of that, they looked pretty weak to a Vikings team that really didn't do very well last night either.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching the highlights again. Minnesota's defense, one of the top defenses that was in the NFL last year, they're just getting ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
And that the majority of that starting defense returned. So it's just one of those things. I mean, Goff had freaking 465 passing against them, 5 scores.
Touchdowns. Yeah.
I mean, Cousins wasn't that bad either. He still threw for 422.
He scored 3 times.
And the rushing game was not available last night either. I think probably because it was just a pass slugfest. But
Yeah.
Gurley on 17 carries went for 83.
Yeah.
You know,
But no, I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I mean, that's pretty good. 83 and a 83, but I mean, it just like it didn't seem like that's all it was. It was just it was a sky game. I mean, it was the game was in the air the whole time. And Anthony Bullock says he doesn't understand the roughing the passer rule. We don't either, man. We discussed it last week and earlier. I think we discussed it on Tuesday too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a contact sport.
it's definitely one of those rules that need to be abridged and made a little bit more defined in order for players to understand what it is. Because it was even brought up again earlier today on one of the previews. Technically, the Vikings should be 1-3.
Yeah.
That pass play, the roughing the passer in week 2, where the game went to a tie against Green Bay, by the book, the whole thing with Clay Matthews was a legal sack. It was a legal tackle. It should have not been called roughing the passer. And now again, it happened week 3 with Clay Matthews, and obviously they hit him with that. But now there was word out of Miami that Tannehill would have rather it wasn't Tannehill. Derek Carr said, "I'd rather the guy would have fallen on top of me than tackle me the way he did," and he blew out his knee and he got hurt.
Who, Carr?
Yeah, Carr said that. There was an article about it earlier this week that he would have rather the defender fell on him than tackle him off to the side. And as he was tackling him off to the side, his leg got kind of jammed up like Jimmy G did in the 49er game, and he tore up his knee and got hurt. That was it. Again, now you look at it. I don't know if Derek could probably get the footage of that.
See, I didn't think Carr got hurt that game.
No, Carr didn't get hurt. The
he's just like talking like, yeah, okay.
Got hurt. And he would have rather have had the guy sack him normally than the way that the sack happened, and the defender got hurt. So now you're not looking at also the quarterbacks getting hurt. You're now looking at the defenders getting hurt as well. So I guarantee you this is going to be a topic that's going to be talked about the entire season until the rule gets somehow either thrown out or it gets abridged to a way that it's easier for everybody to understand.
Yeah.
It's just, I've been watching footage all week, and guys are coming out with stories left and right to, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think it's silly. I think it is silly. Like I said, it's a contact sport, man. What are you gonna do? It's just like like Little Giants. Are we gonna put them in like bubble wrap and or put them in those like, we could put it. You know what would be even cooler? Have you ever seen those dudes play soccer in those like little like inflatable balls?
Oh yeah, that would be enjoyable.
That would be enjoyable to watch some dudes knock each other senseless in football.
I don't know, but how would you catch it?
It'd definitely be a rushing game. Or it can make it more interesting. Maybe you could put like a hole in the middle. So the dude's got to they got to throw it into the hole and make it more challenging. Then it would be like soccer.
That would be like the super quarterback skills competition.
Yeah. But so what do we got this week? Who's the first on the list this week?
The first one that the NFL website shows is Jets and Jaguars.
Jets and Jags.
All right. This game here, let me just pull up that spread again, because I actually went over the Vegas odds, and some of these odds are really, they're a little bit out there. Not going to say that they are not. Jacksonville is laying 9 to the Jets, under over 38. There are some injuries in this game because people get hurt. This shit happens. Now, There are some questionables. Screen is going to be a questionable. Marcus May is going to be a questionable. These are not really guys of any particular stature for the Jets. Fournette is still questionable for the game.
And so a con.
Yeah.
Hayden's going to definitely be out.
Yeldon was on the injury list with full participation, but there's no list of an injury or anything, so obviously he's probably going to play. Stat-wise, overall, this is 21st offense versus 20th offense, 7th defense versus 4th. Passing game around the same area, and the rushing game around the same area. Jacksonville did get upset by Tennessee last week. The Jets got smoked like a bad cigarette. What do you feel about this one?
I mean, I'm going Jacksonville. I don't think the Jets have it in them. This is not, as far as I can see, this is not the Jets' year. As so many years have not been. I don't see why we shouldn't make this year any different, because it's going to be pretty brutal.
Well, with this whole lovely not having Fournette thing, Yeldon on the again on the frickin' injury report doesn't list the injury, so I'm not sure exactly which way to lean on it. Jacksonville's going to have to show up. They got embarrassed last week by Tennessee, and a returning Marcus Mariota in a field goal game. I think the Jets defense, even though it is kind of strong, Bortles has got to step up and show that he's an actual proven NFL quarterback at this point.
Yeah.
So even though Jacksonville is laying 9, we don't bet with lines, but we just like to have those out there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, who do you got? Who do you think?
I think I'm probably going to go Jacksonville as well.
Yeah.
I think the Jets will make this game close. I don't think, however, they have enough firepower with that defense. That defense is just, I mean, it's ranked 4th in the NFL for a reason.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't see the Jets pulling that one out.
All right. So by the way, anybody that watches, be kind to actually throw your picks into the comment section. We'll read it. We'll read them out loud, or over the weekend we'll actually take a count of them, and maybe on Tuesday when we go over the games, that will actually, include your picks in with ours. Alex and I both split last week at 8 and 7. Unfortunately, Alex, you were 7 and 8, but I mean, it was fairly like 50-50 throughout the entire schedule. So. But anybody that wants to put their picks in, we'll gladly be able to.
We'll throw you in the mix, man. For sure.
All right. Dolphins Pats is listed the second thing up on the schedule here. Now, it's crazy to see that even though the Dolphins are 3-0, they are nothing ranked higher than 17th overall in league rankings for an undefeated team. 17th rushing, 19th passing, 20th in defense, 23rd in offense. Line for this game is New England laying 7.5 in Foxborough.
I mean, okay. Man, I don't know. The Patriots, the Patriots do this in September, man. I don't know. But the Dolphins have been playing pretty good. No, actually, I think the Raiders would have beat them if they had showed up for the fourth quarter last week. They had the whole game. They had the game in their hands. So shy of them throwing that away, I would say that they would have won that game. But I don't know, man. The Patriots on rankings. Which rankings, honestly, it's proven like rankings really don't mean anything when you look at it. Because, I mean, look at the Lions and the Patriots last week.
Yeah, definitely on that.
But that being said, they're at home after 2 brutal losses.
Well, let me lay down some of this this injury report, and I think
Yeah.
that's a lot of the reasons why that when we went full cocked off on games like the fucking Texans last week, and we were outright on that. We both on like 3 games picked the same teams, and we thought that were going to be blowouts, and obviously you saw what happened.
Yeah.
Key injuries for Miami: Derek Wake, Devontae Parker is questionable with a quadricep injury. Uh, Alexander Derby is going to be out. He torn his ACL last week, so he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
There are injuries on both sides of the ball, more defensively than offensively. The Pats are everybody is listed as questionable. I know last week Chung didn't play, Flowers didn't play, Josh Gordon didn't play, Hollister didn't play with a chest injury. So, being the fact that I can see that there are maybe like 2 or 3 key players on both sides of the ball at this point for both teams, kind of just change those numbers around a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins on that one. I think I have to. I think the Dolphins are on a roll. Hey, you just never mind. I think I'm looking at the wrong screen here. I thought you cut out for a second, but no, I think Dolphins are on a roll, and I think they've got good momentum going for them. I mean, it is a little hard to pick against the Patriots at home. After those 2 losses, I think they're hungry for a win. So what's the spread on this?
Pats laying 7.5, under over 48. It kind of makes it interesting with that 48 because you're both at this point right now. Again, you look at the defensive numbers, 20 and 28. Offenses are 25th and 23rd. There's no real big glaring thing. The only real big, obviously, like kind of exclamation point to this is Amendola's return to Foxborough.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Pats. I think the last 2 weeks they weren't at home; they were on the road. You're playing now for the division. You're 2 games back as of this point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really fall 3 back. Belichick's going to have to scheme something real well. Dolphins, however, historically do not play well in Foxborough.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the Pats on that.
Well, we will see what happens on that game. I'll definitely be watching that one pretty closely. So I've got Miami.
I got the Pats.
You got the Pats.
We're both on Jacksonville.
Team. Yep. We're both on Jacksonville. All right. What do we have next? What else is coming up? Eagles and Titans. 1:00 Eastern.
Which will also probably be a game on Fox 5 in the New York area for anybody because the Giants play at 4:00. Just letting everybody know.
Man, what do you think?
This one here, I got to tell you. Now, I did not have a lot of stock on the Titans at the beginning of the year.
No.
I know they made it to the second round of the playoffs last year. They had a really good first round game. This one is kind of rough. I think I'm probably going to go with Philly, only for the fact being is Carson Wentz is back. He's the main cog in that engine. Nothing against Nick Foles. He did a great job.
Yeah.
While Wentz was gone, but Philly's got firepower. It's like Rams 3.0, I would have to say. Overall, injury-wise, Alshon Jeffrey is questionable with an illness. Sproles with a hamstring. Jordan Matthews and Adai, full participation in practice, so I'm pretty sure they're coming off of the injury bug. And Gabbard doesn't really mean anything now that Mariota's playing, but their offensive tackle is out with an illness right now, and one of their running backs is out with a groin injury for Tennessee.
Yeah. What is it? Fluellen?
Yeah.
Man, I did not realize that Darren Sproles played for the Eagles now.
Well, you know, what's funny is that once Ajayi got there, all of a sudden Sproles was gone. Same thing with Blunt last year when he was there. Like, you didn't hear about Sproles at all. You heard about Ajayi and you heard about Blunt, but you never. Everybody always forgets about Darren Sproles. And
That's
I actually
an
like
Olathe, Kansas
Sproles.
kid, man. Yeah, he's from Olathe, Kansas.
So I'm going to go with Philly on this. I really don't think that. I don't think there's going to be any more hiccups with that team unless it's a real one-on-one tough battle.
No, now that you said Wentz is back. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Philly, too. I don't think, I mean, spread's 3.5 that I can see. I think you got the Vegas. I've got the ESPN spread. So they're a little different, but not too terrible. What's the over-under? You have the 41 as the over-under?
Vegas lays it out at 42, under-over, and -3.
Okay. So we're pretty close. Not too far. But, yeah, I definitely say Philly's going to do it.
All right, now, see, this is going to be the next game here is kind of a question mark, right? Now, knowing the fact that a lot of the people at the bowling alley know that we do Archrivals on Tuesdays and Fridays, they actually approached me for picks this week. And I said, on this game here in particular, stay away. I don't feel comfortable with this game. I didn't like the line on this game to begin with. It's Houston and Indy. The line is 1.5. Houston laying 1.5 or getting 1.5. The game is in Indy, and the under-over was 47.
Yeah, that's what I've got here too.
Again, for some reason, I know the Texans did open with New England the beginning of the year. They had 2 decently good games after that. Their lowest number for league rankings is 17, but they're in the top 10 in both rushing and offense. There should be no reason why the Texans are 0-3.
No, I don't know what is going on with that team either. I mean, it's been kind of weird, but I mean, I don't know if I would even bet on this game. Like,
I'm trying to pull up the
injury list.
Thing here. Yeah.
Well, we've got let's see, I've got it right here. Maybe. There it is. So Texas has Ellington. He's on IR. Dylan Cole's on IR. DeAndre Hopkins is questionable. Sharice Wright is questionable. And then Kayvon Webster is out. For Indiana, Costanzo's out. Well, he offensive tackle. But Marlon Mack is questionable. Anthony Walker is questionable. And Clayton Gathers is, I think it's Gathers. Geethers.
No, I think it's, I think they call him Jumpy Gathers.
Jumpy Gathers?
I think that's what his name, what they call him on TV.
He is questionable to return as well. So
if you think about it, Indy's got 5 players out. A lot of questionables.
Well, Houston's definitely got 3 out.
But you know what, though? I really can't see the reason why, when you have a young guy like Deshaun Watson freaking behind center, you shouldn't be winning more games. I know he makes a lot of judgment calls when he throws the ball, but there should be no reason why that they're stuck at 0-3.
He's thrown for 871 yards already.
But here's the bigger question: how much rushing yardage does he have? Because the rushing offense for them is 8th overall in the NFL, and I noticed last week there was not a lot of rushes by running backs last week.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, Hopkins has had well, if he plays, but he's got 247 so far this year. But I don't know where the printout is for that whole, where the whole. Oh, that's where it is there. There. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't find it. My phone's just. I did a new update on my phone. The new update on my iPhone,
Yeah.
and ever since then, it's just like decided that it hates me. It doesn't want to work. So, you know, we're dealing with that right now.
Maybe if the NFL catches it, we'll get like an Apple or a fucking Android sponsorship or something.
Here we go.
That would actually be pretty cool.
That would be amazing.
All right, so which way would you lean on this one, just right off of what we discussed right now?
Man. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to go with the Texans. They got to win one. Like, there's no, on paper, there's no reason that this team is not doing well this year. So I'm going to have to go. This is the break for the Texans this week. They win this game.
Well, think of it this way. The last three head-to-heads, because this is a division game for them.
Yeah.
Indy's won 2 out of the last 3. Only difference is Luck did not play last year at all. So the game that he did play against the Texans won. I'm actually going to roll the dice with Indy on this one. Indy's going to find a way to do this. Andrew Luck has got to prove himself. And I think if Luck doesn't start proving himself by now, then he might not have a job next year.
No, he might not. Maybe somewhere, but as a backup.
But I will roll the dice with the Colts getting that 1.5 point difference. That's basically a pick 'em at this point.
Yeah, basically.
All right, Buffalo and Green Bay. Now, we definitely took one in the ass with this last week.
Yeah, we sure did.
By all of us picking frickin' Minnesota.
And they just shat the bed, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. I thought picking Minnesota was a sure thing. I bet somebody made a lot of money on the Bills.
Well, again, like if we were actually betting by spreads, they were getting 16.5 points.
Yeah.
You're getting 2 touchdowns and a field goal, basically, spotted in that game. And they outright won that game with points like 43-10. So
yeah, they definitely covered the spread.
Oh yeah, they definitely covered the spread. Again, now Green Bay is spotting Buffalo 10.5 under over 44.
Yeah,
more gaudy numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some key injuries in this game. Muhammad Wilkerson's going to be out for Green Bay. Cobb is hurt. Aaron Rodgers, again, listed on the injury report with the knee issue.
Yeah.
Buffalo's side, Charles Clay, questionable with a shoulder. LaShawn McCoy with a broken rib. Marcus Murphy, broken rib. Micah Hyde's on this list as well. This is like a battle of MASH at this point.
Yeah. It's going to, I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be a close game. I mean, they're picking Green Bay to win it. ESPN's picking Green Bay to win it. But when is ESPN ever right with anything?
Well, believe it or not, they did a mock pick for the thing where they pretty much I keep forgetting the damn word. Where they play the game out on like Madden or so and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like a simulator. They simulate.
Yeah, they simulate the games, and the final score that they had it was Green Bay 27, Buffalo 23.
Okay.
That's how close of a game that they actually had it in Madden. So I don't know.
I'm going Buffalo, man. I'm going Buffalo. Fuck Green Bay. With Aaron Rodgers questionable, But I think if he doesn't play this game, then Buffalo takes it. Buffalo could still take it if he does play this game.
Well, I think
So
it's going to depend on that Buffalo pass rush, though. That's going to be the big key.
Yeah.
I have followed the history of Aaron Rodgers. He did not play well last week, but it's Aaron Rodgers. You never know. I think if they keep him in the pocket, that's going to be their big mistake, because if he's more mobile, he blows out that knee or he twinges it somehow, he's done. I can't roll against the Aaron Rodgers train on this. I really can't. For some reason, like he just doesn't. He's not out unless there's an actual broken bone in his body. That's the way I really kind of see it. So I think I'm just going to run with Green Bay on this.
You're going to go with Green Bay? All right.
I'm running with the Green Bay Packers on that one. Okay, let's see. I have so many windows open. I'm not used to this.
Me too. She's just got a bunch of shit running at the same time.
All right. Try to pick up the pace a little bit on this one.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Cowgirls, because that's what we just call the Cowgirls.
Well, I mean, they've been playing like the Cowgirls this year. But these teams are pretty evenly matched. Well, I mean, like as far as their records are the same, you know, they're both 1-2. The Lions, man, they looked good last week. They looked real good. Cowboys haven't done anything to impress me this year at all. Like, you know, I know everybody, they're America's team. Doesn't make sense. But, I mean, Matt Stafford, I think his name's Matt.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, Matt Stafford. He's thrown for 95 yards this year. He's 88 for 135, 6 touchdowns. He has thrown 5 interceptions.
Yeah, but you also got to remember the majority of those touchdowns were in week 1 against the Jets.
That's true. That is very true. Let's see. Tate, he's, you know, let's see their injuries. Who's all going to be here? Golden Tate, he is questionable. Michael Roberts and Ezekiel Ansah both out. For the Lions, the Cowboys, Datone Jones, he's out. Antoine Woods, questionable. Cole Beasley, questionable. But really, the Cowboys don't have a rushing or a passing game this year. So
that's because they have no receivers to start. So at that point, it's a little bit, again, questionable with that.
It's all Ezekiel Elliott.
But my thing is this, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people just really don't key on this. A key piece for the Cowboys D, Sean Lee at middle linebacker, he has been hurt almost every season that he's played in the NFL. Now, according to the injury list, NFL.com has him out with a hamstring injury. Their starting center, Travis Frederick, out with an illness. Beasley's got questionable with an ankle. Cowboys are pretty much banged up on both sides of the ball. I think the pass rush for the Lions is going to be key, because then you have to stop Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this was one of those games that even Vegas didn't even want to touch. Vegas has this one at 44 under over. Dallas laying -3. So they're giving the Lions points on this. Maybe Detroit actually found something this past weekend. Again, that was against a freaking destroyed Patriots secondary, so you kind of question that as well. I'm probably.
Yeah, it was pretty destroyed. I'll tell you that. I couldn't believe it.
I'm looking at Detroit at this.
Me too. I think that, man, the Cowboys, you know, they've been rebuilding. They've been trying to rebuild for years, and it's like they were good last year, but once it got to the playoffs, they just weren't shit. And now it's I mean, well, we'll see. But I think I'm going Lions. I don't think they've got it in them this week.
Okay, now this was a doozy of a pick that I also got asked about. Both teams are coming into the game at 2-1. Tampa Bay versus Chicago. Our producer is getting a kick. The fact that his Bears are better than both our fucking Pats and Raiders. So I guarantee.
Well, you know what? Our producer
some,
can go suck a fat one.
But I know he's going to have a lot of interest in this one. It's a 1 o'clock game, which would be, I think, 11 o'clock over there in Phoenix. Let's talk about Fitzpatrick.
Let's talk about him.
He has thrown for 400 plus yards the first 3 games of the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, that lovely Monday night game that everybody told me I really, really needed to watch had Pittsburgh with a huge lead, only to crumble and hold on barely at the end. Not really very many major injuries in this game. Defensively, the front line for the Tampa Bay Bucks is banged up.
Yeah.
Secondary is banged up. But that doesn't mean anything for that offensive juggernaut with Deshaun Jackson running around. Fitzpatrick is actually throwing the ball very well. And a lot of people don't understand this. Fitzpatrick always has like 1 or 2 shit years, and then all of a sudden he's Superman. However, if he keeps dressing like Conor McGregor, I think we're going to have to shave his beard off.
Yeah, I think it's going to his head a little bit.
Chicago's coming into this game pretty decently healthy. They do have two members of their secondary hurt and a wide receiver hurt. Otherwise, there's only 4 players listed on the Bears injury report.
Yeah. It's like what Marcus Cooper. It's Anthony Miller and Prince Amukamara.
Yeah,
He's out. So that's a hell of a last name, man.
I thought my name was bad.
Yeah, not even close. He does use less letters in the alphabet than you have in your name, though. You do have that going for you. Man, I'm going Bears. The spreads they're giving Tampa Bay 3, or from ESPN's spread is 3, and the over under's 46. What's Vegas have to say?
Vegas has got it at under over 48. Bears laying 2.
Okay, pretty close there. So
I got to tell you, I know Jameis Winston was supposed to be back this week.
Yeah.
However, when you have Fitzpatrick throwing for over 1,200 yards for the first 3 games, and he's averaging those 50-plus yard plays, at least 3 of them per game, with the secondary being a little dinged up for Chicago, I think at this point, Fitzpatrick is going to lay it out there. I don't think that train's going to stop. Again, if Amukamara is not there to cover Deshaun Jackson, that might be a problem. And they'll pick on that all day, and Jackson will probably go for like $150. So I think I'm probably shooting the Bucks on this one.
Yeah, you're going the Bucks? All right. Well, that's what we've got there. Bengals Falcons.
This was another game a lot of people asked me about. And yes, the game is in Atlanta, and it is in a dome. I think that it's kind of funny that we mentioned this because the NFL does give this stat to us. There is actually threats of thunderstorms in Atlanta for this game, even though they play in a dome. Apparently, the weather fucks with the temperatures in the dome. I don't know what it is.
Huh. I mean, they don't have an air conditioner in that thing?
I'm sure they do. And a lot of these games apparently were played in Atlanta recently because the Bengals have won last 3 meetings against the Falcons. For a 2-1 Bengals team that has been as strong in recent years, Vegas has got Atlanta laying 5.5, under over 48.
Wow, mine's different. Mine's you said 4.5?
5.5.
5.5. I've got ESPN's giving them Bengals giving Bengals 4, and the over under's 53.5. That's the farthest apart I've seen them. But
well, at this point here, league rankings, they're equal.
yeah.
They're pretty much equal in almost every statistical category. Let me just check the injury report, because you know what? I think the injury reports sometimes do play a big key on how these games kind of lay out. Falcons have 3 major injuries on their team, and the key one is Devontae Freeman not playing.
Yeah, I just saw that.
The only real big key injury for Cincy is the rookie running back Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, pretty much that team is practically healthy. So this is another one of those ones where you just sit there and you're like, okay, which one do you do? Do you flip the coin and say you go with the flip, or just, you know?
You know what, man? I think I think this will be an upset. Everything I've been reading right now says the Falcons are supposed to win this, stats wise. But I'm gonna go with the last they've lost, or the Bengals have beaten them the last 3 times. I'm going with Cincy.
Okay.
What do you got?
I gotta tell you, Falcons, after that big freaking shootout last week, they're at home.
That was a great game, by the way.
That was probably, I think, one of the highest scoring games I've ever seen Atlanta and New Orleans play. I still say, even though the Falcons have actually kind of figured out the end zone thing, Freeman is a huge loss. However, they still do have a really great running back. I can't count out Julio Jones in this one. I think he's gonna have one of those turnaround games against the Bengals. So I'm gonna go with the ATL.
All right, man. We're split on that one. Okay. So next up, who do you got here?
This is what I'm considering as a toilet bowl match. Arizona, Seattle, both teams offensively have not shown anything. I hate to say it, but I look at the stats and I'm trying to find the little bars next to the league rankings.
The Cardinals.
Well, even the Cardinals are just last in everything except for defense.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they know how to stop even a cold. And
their offense can't catch a cold.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even want to even talk numbers in this game, because
no.
It's one of those toilet bowl matches. Vegas has quoted this. Hold on, let's see. Why did the screen go small?
I don't know.
Because maybe it just doesn't even want me to even quote the game. Under over is only 37 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Seattle laying 3 to Arizona. Doug Baldwin is playing in this game. They did say it in the injury report. I'm probably going to go Seattle, and I know this is probably even a stretch, but I could be shocked. I mean, maybe Arizona might actually figure something out. Their rookie's starting the game again. So, Bradford hurt his ass.
Oh, poor guy. I'm gonna go Seahawks too. I think I don't think the Cardinals have anything to bring to the table in this game. Like it is a garbage of a football game. Yeah, I don't think there's any. The better team, and they're not better. They're just the team that's the team that's not the shittiest is going to win this game, and I think that team is Seattle, definitely.
Okay, so now we move to Cleveland and Oakland. The first stat that I'm going to bring out, which may be an omen, okay? Cleveland, as shitty as they have been before this season, has won 2 out of the last 3 meetings against the Oakland Raiders.
Wow, fuck. I don't know, man. Carr is doing great. I mean, he's got 5 interceptions, so Jesus Christ. Yeah. Not great. And he always does it on like the worst opportunity. You know, like right when we could win a game, he throws an interception. Lynch has been doing great. Still haven't seen anything from haven't seen anything at all from Amari Cooper. Cook is doing very well.
Well, the
Jared Cook, he's been doing pretty good.
well, the only significant injury for, well, I mean these injuries are significant because they're hamstring for Rogers Cromartie. Hall's got an ankle injury.
Yeah.
Carl Joseph, I believe he's their starting safety. He's going to be out for the game.
Yeah, he will be out. That could suck, especially against what's it? It's not Tyrod Taylor's not starting this game, is he?
He's actually questionable with a back injury, but they do say that the rookie is starting this game. It'll be the first true test for him for the entire NFL season.
Yeah.
So that should be definitely a
Baker Mayfield's good, man. He's really good. But God, we've got to win sometime. I'm gonna go Raiders on this one. I always got to go Raiders.
I'm gonna say
we gotta win one fucking game this year. Jesus Christ! If it's not against the Browns, holy shit!
I was nuts for fucking picking Cleveland against the Jets on the Thursday night game. I'm gonna go the Cleveland Browns.
Oh my God!
Mark this date down. This is the second time I'm ever picking the Cleveland Browns twice in one season to win a game.
If we lose to the Cleveland Browns, I'm done watching football. You know what? We'll wait till next year.
I think if you lose to the Cleveland Browns on air, you should shave your beard.
Shit, no. I look weird without that. Like,
you're baby faced.
Oh man. We'll never do that. I did that last year for a we played a show and I shaved my beard off because it was a Halloween show. I was putting makeup on, and it did not work out well. And it should be longer, but when I had my buddy's wedding was at the beginning of the month, and I had the wrong guard on the clippers.
Yeah.
And so I went to trim, just to shape it up a little bit. And it went, and I look at just this whole clump of hair just falls down. I was like, well, I guess we're doing this now. I mean, can't really have no other option. So, but no, I will not be shaving my beard. If we lose to the Cleveland Browns, I'm not watching football anymore for the rest. I have to.
You'll have to do something really drastic to freaking.
Oh God, I'll be so pissed off.
All right, so we're down to the final 4. We have 2 4:25 games, the Sunday night game, and the what I think is going to be game of the week in Monday Night Football. We have Saints and Giants. Now, being in the part of the New Orleans rivalry, because people just blow these games just way out of the water. Giants have won 2 out of the last 3 meetings. However, there have been some points scored in these games.
Yeah.
Back in 2012, again, that's Eli Manning. They had a score of 52-27. The epic shootout game of 2015, where the final score was 52-49. Both quarterbacks threw for over 400 and had, I believe, 7 or 8 touchdowns in this game. And then 2 years ago, Giants only won by 3. This game is being played at MetLife Stadium. Partially cloudy weather, 70 degrees. I got to tell you, right off the bat, as much as I have a hatred for the Giants, this is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people are going to expect.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, man. I really do. Let's look at their injuries. But the Saints are fairly healthy. They do have, they got a couple linebackers and quarterback. They got a quarterback and a linebacker out. Their defense is a little beat, but is Stacy Cooley gonna play for the Giants?
I believe so, but he's
okay.
he's not one of their main cogs in their engine. So I think that would be kind of the thing. I do think that the Giants' loss of Evan Ingram and Cody Latimer is huge.
Yeah.
Vernon not playing again with the ankle injury kills off their pass rush a little bit. Giants front four has been okay. Not anything to write home to mom about. I hate to say it, but there are a few missing pieces for the Giants.
Yeah.
That defense is not 100%. Vegas has got this game, believe it or not, over 50.
Yeah.
And the Saints dropping 3 to the Giants.
Yeah, that's what I've got here. And see on the matchup predictor, it's 50.3% that the Saints are going to win and 49.3 with a 0.4% of a tie. So that's it. That's it. That's as close as you can get it, folks. I mean, really, that is as close as you're going to get in a football game. So I'm going Saints. After that performance they did against Atlanta last week, I'm going Saints.
I'm actually going to roll with Big Blue on this one. And the only reason why I'm going to roll with Big Blue on this one is that even though Drew Brees started his career in San Diego, he has not played well outdoors as of late. For some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's the haunting of MetLife Stadium. But I think the Giants are going to actually start to roll. Their offense clicked last week. They had a lot of slant plays, a lot of slant and goes. Barkley out of the backfield is going to be killer for them. I also read something on here that where did it go? I lost it. Kamara was on the actual injury list this week.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Cameron Jordan was on the injury list this week. Doesn't say. Maybe a lot of teams are going to be a little mum on some of these things. The only thing that goes against the Giants is the defense at this point with no Vernon, no Eli Apple. Latimer and Ingram being out may be a big thing, but I'm going to go with Big Blue.
All right, we'll see what happens, man. We've got 2 more games, and then we've got 1 more or 2 more, and then we got the Monday night. We could talk a little bit about that. So here we go. Next on the list would be, and I don't think this is even I don't even think we need to dwell on this one too terribly much, but Niners at LA to play the Chargers.
I'm always saying, I'm not saying this because I'm a big fan of the player. If Jimmy G was playing this game would actually be a really good game. I think there's too many injuries on the offensive side of the ball for the 49ers.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams are going to coming in with injuries. Joey Bosa is not playing in this game. Joe Barksdale is not playing in this game for San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
I know they're the LA Chargers, but I keep calling them San Diego, and that's probably just going to be the way it's going to be for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I think offensively, your only big issues is on San Diego is Keenan Allen and Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
I got to tell you again, if Jimmy G was playing in this game, I think it would be a lot different. But I'm going to go with the Chargers on this.
Yeah, me too. I don't see any way that San Francisco's going to pull it out after losing Jimmy G. And he tore his ACL.
Yeah, out for the season.
You could see it snap.
It's just so gruesome to know that you can be running up the field, you go to make one cut on turf, and you're done.
Yeah.
This is why a lot of people really should just change the way that the cleat setup is.
Yeah.
Because that game was on grass, and he tore up his ACL, which is even more nuts. Just to let everybody know, Vegas line, believe it or not, I don't know where they came up with this line. Under over 47, and Chargers laying 9.5.
Yeah.
That is a freaky number. Okay, Sunday Night Football.
The final. Is this the primetime game?
This is the 8:20 primetime game. I think this one is actually second overall for my game of the week, believe it or not. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baltimore is getting 3 in Pittsburgh, under over 48.
Okay. That's what I've got here. Well, I've got 15.5 for the over-under, but yeah, I've got the 3 there. I mean, Baltimore's defense is beat up, man. And they're pretty, and Pittsburgh is fairly healthy. I mean, they've got Mike Hilton and Morgan Burnett out, but are doubtful to return, or doubtful to play. But yeah, Pittsburgh's basically a healthy team, and Baltimore's defense is just hacked up. CJ Mosley's questionable. Terrell Suggs, he's questionable. Hayden Hurst, he's questionable. Willie Henry and then Anthony Everett are both out. So in Pittsburgh, I'm going Steelers. I got to go Steelers.
All right. I am going to actually go opposite. I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Again, one of the biggest key stats, even with a semi-banged up secondary and the front seven, defensive pressure. If you're going to make Big Ben run around, maybe he'll get a freaking non-contact injury and fall over or something. I don't know. But the biggest problem that I have with this game is, and it's been questioned, now I don't have the soundbite ready because my phone died, Le'Veon Bell not playing is killing the fact that Antonio Brown can now not get open.
Yeah.
They have been double covering him over the last few weeks. They've been putting the safety over top so that way he can't break away, and the cushion is just too small for Big Ben to hit. I feel the same thing is going to happen again this week. Brown only had 5 catches last week. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
So I'm still leaning on that Baltimore defense. I don't think our defense has ever really changed, even after Ray Lewis left and a lot of the other key guys on that defense left. But I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, we'll see what happens Sunday night. Now we go to the Monday night game. Archrivals, the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Now, this one here, I had a lengthy discussion about.
Okay.
Lengthy. Okay, the final score on this game that I had during my simulation was only 3 points. Kansas City has won the last 3 meetings. However, this game is in Denver. The last game, I believe, in Denver was the 27-24 game last year on December 31st, New Year's Eve. Injuries, it's a stretch a little bit on this game here. We've got... why did that go backwards?
As far as it looks, Kansas City's pretty healthy.
Both
Broncos,
teams are listed with everybody playing at this point. So these are basically like the opening day rosters, and it's just like, again, like opening day. The only one that did not play was Berry for Kansas City. It was practice. Otherwise, there was just it's basically pretty even.
Yeah, man. What's the spread on that? Let's see here. Let's check that out. But while we're
high scoring affair, 55 under over, and Kansas City -5.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, that's going to be a tough one. But these two teams playing each other is always a tough game. I mean, it always is. They're arch rivals. I mean, they definitely, in the AFC West, no one really gives a shit about the Chargers. I'm sorry, but we don't. Not the people that I know. Like, it's all Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs. Raiders, I don't know what they're gonna do this year, but Chiefs, Broncos, man, it even when any one of these teams gets together, it's hardly ever a blowout. There have been some, but I think in Mile High with the altitude change, the Chiefs have no problem playing in the altitude though. Like that's what they're used to it. They play there every year. Man, I'm gonna have to go with Denver. I'm gonna give Denver the home field advantage on this one and go with Denver.
Well, I think at this point, now I'm looking at the league rankings, and obviously you really don't put a lot of stock in league rankings at this point. Has Case Keenum made them a better team outside of Osweiler and the other quarterback that they had last year? Yes.
Yeah.
Denver still has weapons. Demetrius Thomas does still play for that team. Their run game is actually pretty decent. At one point in this year, Kansas City's defense is going to come out and bite them. Last in the league. This was the Patriots from years back. Offensively, juggernaut. Defense was second to last. They were fucking shit. But that defense won them a Super Bowl. Believe it or not. 30th in pass defense, you still won a Super Bowl. But I think at this point, I'm gonna still run with the Chiefs on this. I think at this point, if Denver's defense can stand up, would be great. But the Chiefs is still on that offense.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt is starting to pick things up again. They're starting to hand them the ball a little bit more. I gotta tell you, I think the train's still rolling in KC.
You think so? See, I thought that too. I mean, they got Patrick Mahomes. He's got so many weapons. He really does. But I don't think. I mean, if you want to look at, I think Von Miller he's definitely gonna wake Patrick Mahomes up during this game. I really think so. He's a big factor that we have to think about. That's why that's the main reason it's home field advantage, and Von Miller plays for. And Denver's defense isn't bad. They've got a good defense. So I think that's my reason. I think this is a defensive game. The defense shuts down Kansas City. Will they blow them out of the water? Absolutely not. This is going to be a nail biter. It's going to be a very close game. But I think with the leadership of Von Miller, Denver gets it taken care of.
Well, that's actually our whole slate for the week.
Fucking A. Anything else happened in the news today or in the football world?
Let me see here. There was a few things that I wanted to look at. Well, this was actually kind of pretty funny that it says it here. Is Dak Prescott? Where did the article go?
Dakota. I found out he likes being called Dakota now. Dak seems a little childish.
Is Dak Prescott just Mark Sanchez 2.0? Is one of the articles that's out there. Now, I always tell everybody this breakdown on Mark Sanchez. He was great when he had weapons. Once the Jets took away his weapons, he was garbage.
Yeah.
And Jerry Jones took all of Prescott's weapons away, so it's up to Prescott to prove him wrong. Early talk of Khalil Mack being the MVP in the NFL.
Of course he is. Of course he's going to be the MVP in the NFL. Why wouldn't Khalil Mack be the MVP in the NFL? Why wouldn't he? Oh, because he's probably one of the best defensive players out there.
Okay, so they have 5 bold predictions for Week 4 in the NFL.
All right, what is that?
Andy Dalton outscores Aaron Rodgers. That would be interesting. Kerryon Johnson goes over 100 rushing yards again because it was the first time Detroit's had a 100-yard rusher since 2013. Another one is Geronimo Allison cracks the top 20 amongst wide receivers. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield has a day. And
God, I hope not. I hope not.
Giovanni Bernard outscores all running backs.
Well,
should be interesting. That's all fantasy stuff,
man. Should be an interesting. God, man, Baker Mayfield. He that guy terrifies me. He really does. Like, not having Khalil Mack. That guy terrifies the shit out of me, man. Like, I don't know what to do.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's pretty much it for the game previews for the week. We thank everybody for watching. I know our producer probably fell asleep on the other end of the channel. I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
Me neither. He hasn't said anything to me.
He hasn't said a peep in a while.
He said something about it's 92 degrees. I might go swimming. He's probably in the pool right now.
How would you go in the pool during the show? Wow.
It's just not. It's like a block, like half a block from his house. It's just like, it's in his apartment complex. I mean, it's not. But yeah, he didn't know. But he said it was really chilly. Hopefully, it's not very cold when we're down there. Well, let me send him a text message so we can get this thing.
Let's see
this thing going here.
All right, but we do thank everybody for watching, and feel free to again put your comments in the end there. Share the show. Let everybody know that we do these football picks every week. If you disagree with our picks, let us know about it. I mean, feel free to leave some comments in that section there.
Yeah. Share the show out to your friends. Shauna says she likes the Chargers. Well, I won't hold that against you.
Well, she's just learning the game of football, so she'll probably realize how that all runs out at the end.
She's from LA though, so I guess she's got to like one of them. I would pick the Rams if I were going to pick anybody in the wonderful town of Los Angeles.
My thing is the Rams have flip-flopped so many times from LA to St. Louis, it's not even funny. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I think they are the nomads of the NFL.
They definitely are. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Those that did, definitely catch. For those of you listening on the replay, we appreciate that as well.
Yeah, share the show. Again, let everybody know we're here for Archrivals. We did have the phone number. If he wasn't there and the phone did ring, who knows?
Oh, he's here. I heard him coughing.
Oh, okay, cool. So we will see everybody on Tuesday night around the same time. Enjoy your weekends. Don't do anything stupid over the weekend. And
or if you do, don't get caught.
Exactly the point. So we will see you guys again Tuesday night.
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.